what's interesting to me about hunger, especially being in this cut, is when I calorie count, like when I meticulously track calories, I get way hungrier than when I just loosely track and am not like meticulous with it, which I think is very interesting. If I'm meticulously weighing and measuring, which I'm not doing during this cut, I get so much hungrier. And essentially, like in my brain, the way it works is I start counting down how many calories I have left for the rest of the day, which is like makes it like almost like well, eventually I'm going to have to stop. It's like the day is sort of revolves around when I have to stop eating. But when I'm more loose with it, like I am during this mini cut and like I've been for many, many years, it's just like I'm just going to reduce portion size. I know this is what I normally eat. I'm going to eat the same foods now, just smaller portion sizes. Hunger is not an issue at all. Like not even remotely an issue. And it really boils down to me for like how meticulous I get with the numbers. Mm-hmm. And I wonder if that has to do with me not being much of a number person to begin with. Because for you, you're a numbers guy, like, and you're super good with numbers and with math. And I wonder, do you notice hunger increase or decrease based on how strict you're being with tracking your calories or macros?
What you're describing sounds like it's purely psychological, right? It's not. Mm-hmm. It's not mm-hmm. like here's what you're not saying. You're not saying when I meticulously track, I end up eating 200 to 300 calories less a day than when I loosely track. Therefore, I'm hungrier because I'm eating fewer calories. What you're saying is the hyper focus on the perfection of nailing the numbers, like puts you in a different state of mind that leads you to be hungry hungrier later. No, I don't know if it necessarily has to do with, maybe it's that I like numbers. I think part of it is that I'm so okay with overeating one night in a cut that like that pressure of like, I have to be perfect every day. Like I'll allow myself, if I'm super hungry at night, one night in a cut, be like, all right, mm-hmm. I'm going to go 500-600 calories over my target. I need something else here before bed. Mm-hmm. And you know, don't make a habit of it. But so maybe like having that like built-in way out, I don't know.
So for me, it's not that. And actually, I think I've figured out what it is. Do you remember the Martin Birkin article years and years and years ago?
Hang on, let me guess. I do. Oh, what is it? No, go ahead.
Boredom is the enemy of hunger. Uh-huh. And for me, when I focus on the numbers, I just think about food much more. Mm-hmm. Food is essentially like always top of mind because like, okay, cool. These are the numbers. This is how much I have left. I've got to think and I've got to plan. And I think because I'm not a numbers guy, it'll take me longer to plan ahead. And I think about food more and it becomes more of like a thing that I have to pay attention to. Whereas for you, because maybe you're better with numbers, like cool, done. All right, awesome, done. Now it's out of mind, out of sight. It's out of sight, out of mind, whatever. I don't have to think about it. So I think it's because when I'm just loosely tracking and it's not like I have no issue going over my calories one day and like, that's fine. That's no problem. But when I'm just loosely tracking, I'm not super meticulous with it. There's zero issues because it's not always on my mind. But once it becomes like super, hey, all right, let's weigh, let's measure, let's like be way more rigid with it. Now it's always top of mind. And then it becomes more of like, well, now, like, am I actually, like if I see a commercial for food, you're going to get hungry just because now you're thinking about food, right? But so that's what I think. It's more like because it's more top of mind on a more regular basis throughout the day, hunger will increase just because I'm thinking about it more.
That makes complete sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was my introduction to the marshmallow test too.
Oh yeah.
Right? Wasn't that in that article?
Yes.
Like stop thinking about food so much. That's what's causing you to overeat.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. I think that's actually highly plausible and something that I have witnessed in certain, usually more type A clients. The hyper focus on food, measuring, like you said, just thinking about it consistently for a substantial percentage of the day creates more hunger. or whether it's hunger or just like leads to more overeating.
Which is tough from a coaching perspective because you don't want clients to go through that. But being able to loosely track is, I think, dependent on first tracking meticulously, right? I think like you can't accurately loosely track if you haven't meticulously tracked first.
Absolutely.
So I think even just having a client for 30 days, hey, we're going to meticulously track for these 30 days and then switch into a more sustainable, loose tracking protocol might be a good option for someone who's like, I'm just hungry all the time. I can't stop thinking about food. It's like, okay, cool. We're going to do this for 30 days. Then we're going to switch into something a little bit less rigid. Might be good for that type of person.
100%. If someone comes to you overweight, wants to lose body fat, that's their main goal, and several weeks or even months go by and they're not making progress and they're loose tracking, it's like, okay, we need to tighten things up a little bit. Funny enough, all of the examples rushing to mind right now of the people I just described, those type A people, hyper focused on food, like spending a lot of their day thinking about food, are already lean and like are killing it and don't need to be, so meticulous to make more progress. They actually would benefit psychologically and physiologically from just slightly taking their foot off the gas.